Hello, everyone, and welcome to something a little bit different. In today's video, I am not on the SMP. Today, I'm going to be talking about delooters. If you play Vault Hunters, if you have ever had to run through more than one bag of something, you know that delooting is a giant pain. One of the things that I am very good at is making that less painful. So, what I'm going to talk about today is three different types or three different complexities of delooters. The first one is just a straight through system. If you do something like this, you have to make sure you have the right bags in the right places. So you can see here, things are color coded. These are all modular routers. There's no modules in those, but there are in these. And with the modular routers there is an entire setup behind here, but each bag is very specific. This bag is for your main loot stuff. So this would be anything that comes in giant stacks, carbon, diamonds, focuses, essence. There's a ton more stuff, I'm sure. This bag would be all of your, at least in my case, it's all of my decoration, junk type items, and scavenger items. And then I have multiple bags for gear and jewels. These are my non-stackables. And then one bag that's just extra stuff. If you're playing Vault Hunters, you know you want to have pickup upgrades on these and stack upgrades. So these straight through systems, they're all they're going to do. When you turn them on, they're going to pull from the container in front of it. For this bag in particular, it is going to try and send everything to a drawer controller first, and then to the refined storage interface that I have set up in the back here second. So anything that's in this bag is going to try and go into a drawer. And if it doesn't go into a drawer, it's going to go into digital storage. I do that because you want to make sure that if it can go into a drawer, it needs to go there first. The second router, this is junk and scav items. First, it's going to send anything to the drawer controller. I do this because sometimes I like to build with those decorative items. So I'll have drawers set up to save those, usually compacting drawers. And then I'll send everything that's left to you see here it is an Enigma chest. It is this chest, which will then turn everything into soul shards. For gear and jewels, this is a single puller on each one of the bags, and everything that fits the bulk gear filter that I have here, so that is everything we have, will be sent to this chest. I'll pull these out so we can see them. And anything that is a jewel, I just put in a chip jewel, but you can use any jewel for the filter, will go to the other chest. And I'll show you where those are. Gear and jewels. So in this case, this would be where things come directly out of the vault. You can assess them, keep them if they're good, and then put them into other chests. Maybe you have a storage room off to the side. The same thing with your jewels. All three of these routers are for gear and jewel items, or non-stacking items. So in my modular routers, I don't run any stack upgrades. They're not needed. None of this stuff can be moved in stacks. This last router, this bag is everything else. If it doesn't go into any of the other ones, this is going to take it. It's going to send everything to the interface, and I should have put stack upgrades there. All of those will go there. Now you can see I'm in creative mode. I didn't mean to do that. That's fine. I have redstone things set up here because if you're playing on a server, you really only want to have these routers trying to work at times when you're actively delooting. You can do this in your single player too, especially later on in the game where every little bit of processing power makes a difference. And one of the things that you can do is include a activator module on your identification stand for gear items. So if you have, and I think that I actually have one, yep, right here. This one is set up to send gear to that modular router. And in this modular router is an activator that will activate up on any item that is a gear piece. Oh my gosh, Burano, where did that come from? What is that black magic wizardry? That's vault filters. If you're not using vault filters, you should. 1000%. It makes everything so much easier when it comes to automation like this. Use vault filters. So this will only attempt to activate up, which is where the ID stand is. It is a regular right-click action. And what I have this set to do is to stop anything else if this module didn't do anything. So if this activator doesn't activate, don't activate this. Why do you need the filter there? This is why. That activator is just going to try and click that over and over and over again. From there, it will then send anything to the chest. It will be identified gear, and with the security module in, or the security upgrade in, it will use your fortuitous finesse. That's right, you can automate your legendary rolls. Kind of. Doesn't give you any better chances, but it does help. If a single router per bag is too expensive for you, that's totally fine. You can make this work with 2 routers using distributors. So you can see I have a distributor picking up from these 4 backpacks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the gear bags here in jewels. And sending to the gear chest and the jewel chest. The reason why I split it up between 2 routers is because distributors in round robin are going to try and go in order every single time, even if bags are empty. So if you have these 2 bags, which are your main loot bag, junk and scav bag, if they're filled with stuff and it's only getting 1 pull every 6 rotations of round robin, it's going to take forever. So for those, give them their own router. Don't do round robin. Just do straight pullers and senders. Now I put the pullers at the back here because if this puller from the first backpack goes off, it's going to terminate this one. This one won't run. And then it will attempt to send to the drawer controller, then to the interface, then attempt to pull. If this one doesn't do anything, this one will pull, and it will clear those 2 bags out in order with 0 delay. Now, let's move on to the second one. A little bit different, a little bit the same. This one, backpacks don't matter. Put them wherever. This, instead of a straight through deluter from the pouch through the router to exactly where it needs to go, this does consolidation. So everything from all of these bags gets pulled out, sent to this colossal chest. Now, you can see here, I have a very particular way that I delute. Modular routers, drawers, refined storage, and then colossal chest. As the things are coming out of the bags, they go into this, the first buffer chest. Now, all 4 of these routers are programmed in the exact same way. So as things are coming out of there, don't mind those, coming out of these routers into here, these 4 are taking things out of here and sending them where they need to go. If you do it this way, and you feel like this isn't enough storage, You can make a bigger colossal chest or add more routers. If you are pulling things out of the colossal chest faster than they're going in, then you won't have a problem. So, how do these work? You pull from the colossal chest, step 1. Then you try and send anything to a drawer controller. Remember, if it can go into drawers, it should. And I know I could just send everything to an interface and let it figure it out, but you will have to blacklist the things that you don't want in your digital storage. To me, this just feels a lot easier and also helps get you in the right mindset for the next complexity of delooter. Second thing, anything that fits the junk filter, all of these items, if it didn't go into a drawer, it's going to the Enigma chest. Either harvester or diffuser, your choice. Chip jewels, they go to this chest. Bulk gear goes into that chest. You guys see where this going? And then everything that is not gear and is not jewels goes to the interface. Now, I know I could just swap this with this in my work. This is just how I've always done it. If you want to try it out and it works better, hey, let me know. I am not afraid of change. Jewels, they come into here. Same thing. Everything hits this colossal chest, pulls everything out. What's this? A list filter? I don't know what any of this is. That's fine because I have it all right here. So, what this is going to do is filter out the things I want to keep. In this case, I just grabbed some random things. A chip jewel that is 10 size or smaller. Flawed jewels that are 14 or smaller. Jewels with 3% copiously. And jewels with 7% trap disarm. You can add as many filters as you want to this. And according to Joseph, who is the creator of Vault Filters, you can nest list filters inside of the list filter. So you can have, I'm not even going to do the math. Somebody do the math in the comments. Thank you. After that, anything that is not a keeper, right? So we blacklist the keepers from that list filter, goes to the recyclers. Boom. Make sure you go through the top on these. It is direction specific. And it will just instantly melt jewels. Gear is the same way. I do this a little bit differently in this setup, just to show some of the variety that you can use. It pulls, it identifies, this is using the same attribute filter, is a gear piece. Everything that is good goes to the drawer or the chest. Everything that is bad goes to the recyclers. Here's this list. I meant to do that. So this is important. Take a look at the allow list all. That means it has to meet every one of these conditions to pass the filter. In this case is a rare with legendary. That's going to get rid of all your basic rares that don't have legendaries. This one, allow list any. That means if it is an Omega piece or an Epic piece, it gets saved. And possibly the most important one, if you've been watching my videos, anything that has an implicit lucky hit chance. Helmets, oh my gosh. So let's get out of the water. Up we go. Uppies. And we'll put this away. Now, everything gets collected into the recyclers. You can run as many recyclers as you want. You could have 8 recyclers per each router and just have a wall of melty destruction. But make sure that you clean out your routers. Not your routers. That's a router. That's a recycler. So many R's. This router takes everything out of the recyclers and then sends it. Can you guess where? First step, drawers, and then interface. That is pretty much it for a buffered, consolidated type deluter. These routers here I did talk about earlier, but they're the same thing. You can do 2 routers with distributors in. And in this case, I believe I just did all 6. Yeah, pretend those lit up. You do all 6 and just send stuff in. It may not be the fastest, but you know what is? I'll show you the fastest deluter that I've made. And it's on the server. Let's go downstairs. Can I make this? Nope. Oh gosh. I don't know how professional YouTubers do this. This is a nightmare. And yet, I actually needed to start upstairs. So the process for this deluter all starts right here in this altar chest. Very important thing. All of your bags need to have deposit upgrades. Deposit upgrades are the fastest way to empty bags out. You might be thinking, oh, Brana, what do? You just deposit everything into this chest and then it goes down into your system? No, you put the whole bag in the chest. You push the button, it empties and shows back up. That's not an exaggeration. That's how fast you deloot. The rest is automation. So in here, in the event that I had more bags, I have a timer running, I believe, 3 minutes. It is redstone linked. You don't have to redstone link. I just did because it makes it easier. To everything downstairs. Now, I do things a little spread out, and that's fine. You've watched the videos, you've seen this setup. Where the deluter starts, right here. Everything gets sent down from upstairs to one of these routers. Step 1, activate backwards. What does that do? Dumps everything into drawers. I just like getting into drawers first, you know? Step 2, we go up. Now, you can see the whitelist on this is a little bit different. So what that's going to look for is any backpack that matches or anything that tag matches. The only things that come through here are backpacks, but if you don't tag match, it will look for this specific size of bag or possibly even this specific name. Man, that would suck if it was that specific. Anyways, it will ID everything in the bag. And then from here, it gets sent to another modular router. Let's see where that is. Oh, it's right over here. So I have 2 routers right here feeding down into this colossal chest. They activate down, same thing, whitelist is bags, tag matched. And then it sends the bags back upstairs to the other altar chest. That's it. The 3 steps does all of the delooting. Now, once it's in this chest, it works just like the last system did, where it runs through a series of filters and modules in order to make sure that things are going exactly where they need to. First step, I try and make sure that any of these things that I build up a lot of, but have soul value, try to go to the drawer controller first, and then to a frame chest second. Yes, it all should have been caught by the drawer controller. This is more just peace of mind for me. Next is any jewels. They go to their own colossal chest. Then any gear piece gear piece goes to the other chest. Junk gets sent up. I don't have that filter, but trust me on that. All the junk gets sent up to a chest above my harvester. Charms go upstairs to a single chest. Normal chest, even. Yep, charms. And then everything else, no filters, goes to the interface. All of the specifics of what gets kept are decided by these routers. So I had named some of my filters. So this is my gear chest. Anything that is a rare with a legendary, epic, or omega gear gets kept, and everything else gets sent to an item vault, actually, which, can I see this with the spectator? Let's see if I can come in. Yep. You can see there's an item vault in here. It is sizable. It runs from the end here all the way to the other end. That's just a graphical thing. It actually is the size that it is supposed to be. And while the system is running, everything that is in this item vault is pulled out by modular routers. These are not ornate blocks here. These are actually modular routers. I just camouflage them so that way I don't lose track of them. If you have a modular router in your hand, everyone that's camouflaged will light up with a little indicator. So when this system is on, the modular routers pull everything out of the item vault and send them down to the bank of recyclers. There are 12? Yeah, 12 recyclers here. They clean everything up, and then I have another router that takes everything out and sends it up to the either the drawer controller or the interface. For jewels, Burano jewel filter. Okay, well, I should at very least show you what that is. There's that junk list filter. We take a look at that. I do a lot of this. And I try to keep everybody's filters. Junk is anything that is decoration, scav items, god blessings, and has at least one soul value. There have been some changes. Not sure if this is base or to everything, but the gilded blocks, these guys, are now showing decor, but they don't have soul value. So if you send them up to the soul harvester thing, they just clog it up. Now there we go. So these are allow list alls, means they have to pass both conditions and then any either a plus at least one hammer size or 2.5% copiously. My standards aren't super high. Basically anything certain sizes and rarities. And this is the jewel chest. Same thing. Anything that is not a keeper gets sent to the item vault. The item vault gets emptied to the recyclers. Recyclers get sent back up into storage. And upstairs is where I keep my gear and jewels. This is gear. And over here is jewels. Oof. I haven't been in here a lot recently. There's a lot of stuff in here. 789. Not terrible. All of my gear actually gets sent to this chest. I review it. Anything that I want to send to the interface, I just push the button. There's a modular router, sucks everything out of here, sends it over there. This is my charms. And jewels go straight to that interface. That's pretty much it for delooting. There's a lot of different ways to go about it. There's a lot of different methods. This is the method that works for me, and I feel like works for a lot of the people on the Millennium SMP, as I build a lot of the delooters here, including the one at our community center. It is a marvel, and I do appreciate Hoy for the inspiration that he gave in wanting to build something so fascinating. If people want to see that one, I will gladly show it in another video. But that's going to be everything for now. I appreciate y'all very much. Thank you for watching. Happy vaulting.